Easter's lame.
Nah, you get money for Easter. You don't get money for Halloween.
I never got money for Easter.
Man, your Easter bunny
I got
sucked.
Lego Indiana Jones one Easter, so goated.
I got the
Yep.
the Lord dying for my sins. I mean, I appreciate that, but other than that, Easter sucks. Terrible holiday.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
what are we debating Easter about?
Honey, where are my pants?
Studs! Hello and welcome to the Where Are My Studs podcast, episode 13. Aidan, is it 13? Okay, 13.
Yep.
We are back again, and I can't believe I'm saying this. We have another guest. We actually were consistent with it. We are here with Levi, or also known, I think, as TheMobLobster, right?
Yep, that's me. Hello, everybody.
Real enthusiastic to be here.
Listen, I'm very happy to be here.
Yes.
Hey, he had a long day of work. Give him a break.
Levi is a good friend of me and Aidan's. I'm sure we've casually mentioned him in the podcast before.
Well, he's also been the only one who put in like any listener questions for like the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So you'll probably recognize that name from that. So thank you, Levi. We appreciate that.
We do.
Well, thank you for putting out a good podcast.
Yeah, great builder as
Aww.
well. Great. Check him out on Instagram. Is there anything you want to advertise for yourself before we get started?
Nah, just me. I build mocks. I like Lego. I like hanging out with these people.
Yeah.
Check out his Instagram. You'll see a lot of his builds on there.
So, me and Aidan were talking a few days ago, and this is directed towards the audience. Me and Aidan were talking a few days ago, coming up with guests and concepts for the podcast. And I had the idea based off another podcast I actually listened to. I thought it would be really fun to do drafts, like fantasy football style. And for people that don't do fantasy football, I'll give you just a basic rundown. Now, this is going to work with audio, so if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you should be fine. However, for the YouTube listeners, there's going to be a little addition that there will be an actual screen that you can see. So I'm actually going to drag it up here. So basically how this is going to work is we're going to be going over basically the best non-licensed Lego themes of all time. So Levi, Aidan, and myself will each pick 5 themes, and we'll go in order. Kind of like the Josh episode, where basically Levi will go first, he'll choose a theme. Now none of us can use that theme, and someone else will have to come up with a different theme. And by the end of it, we will all have a list of 5 different original Lego themes. And basically we'll put out a little poll, and people can vote to say who they think had the best theme. I think that's a good explanation of what we're doing here today.
Yep. I'd say you covered most bases. There's about 45 themes. We did break up some themes. So one example would be for Pirates, we have 80s and 90s for that theme grouped together, but then 2009 Pirates is an entirely separate thing, as we view those as 2 separate themes. Same with a lot of space themes like Mars Mission, Galaxy Squad, Alien Conquest. Those are separated off from their 80s and 90s counterparts. So in total, we have about 45 themes, and surprisingly, well, not if you've listened to this podcast, only 5 or 6 are still currently running.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well.
Yeah, that should tell you something, but yeah.
So, with all this being said, Levi, you are going to get the first pick. What is your first pick of original Lego themes?
It's probably no surprise by a comment I made prior to us starting the podcast today, but I'm going to go with an all-time great known as Bionicle. And I can explain myself on this one. I know it's not a traditional Lego theme to a lot of people, but I think the prowess of storytelling observed in Bionicle did a lot for Lego as a brand. It finally proved that some things that they had been working at for a while could work. And I think also as a cultural icon, Bionicle exceeds most of these themes in terms of how the internet reacts to these if they see it just out in general. So Bionicle, great sets, technically had 2 runs, but I think the original run from 01 to 09 was much better.
I I have no attachment to Bionicle. However, if any Bionicle fans listen to the podcast, you probably instantly won this draft.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna pick this first because I wondered if you were like, well, me and Brennan aren't gonna pick it for sure, so you're gonna save it for the end. But you're staying true to your guns, and I can respect that.
Yes.
Um, I've hated on Bionicle before in this podcast. I still do find some of it I just don't understand, but I also haven't explored it a lot. But this past year, me and some of my friends at school went to a Bricks minifigs, and one of them was actually like super into like Bionicle, like as a kid. So he actually picked up
Yeah.
a Bionicle set and he built it with us, and then like was talking about like how cool it was. I was like, okay, maybe this is actually not as bad as I'd hated on. So I respect it a little more than like I think it was a year ago when you sent in a listener question and I kind of dogged on it. Um, but yeah, maybe we can have you on in a future episode and you can tell us all about some Bionicle lore and stuff and why we should like it. But yeah, I can respect the pick for
I
sure.
I disagree with that. He should not come on and tell us about Bionicle lore and why he likes it. I don't.
I'm
Listen.
curious. I'm curious though now.
I would probably say some good things, but I'd probably also get called a fake fan by some of the real sweaties. So there's that. I enjoy Bionicle quite a bit, but there are people who are definitely more invested in the lore than myself.
I have no issues with like Bionicle. I just don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I'm very happy with
Dang.
what it did. I think the people that love it, they can love it, but like it's I just don't want to look at it. You can exist, but don't shove it down my throat.
Have you
Keeping
ever
it,
owned a
keep it in
Bionicle
church.
set, Brendan?
What?
Have you ever owned a
Church.
Bionicle set?
No, I never will.
Okay.
I'm afraid
No,
what if
you
I
will.
got
It will
into
be
if I got
gifted
it
to you.
if I got into it, Aiden, we'd be cooked. I'd be absolutely
you-
screwed.
You'd be homeless within 2 years.
Yeah. All right, Aiden, it is your turn. What is your first draft pick for Lego original themes? It's a big deal.
So I went back and forth between 3 themes. I only feel like 2 of them could possibly get picked. Actually, I guess I don't know Levi as well, but I know you're for sure not going to pick one of them. Um, but this is also kind of like we've talked before in the podcast. I go through my phases a lot,
Yeah, you
and
do.
right now, yeah, uh, because of what I've been like looking at and like diving a little deeper into, I'm picking Ninjago,
Oh,
you
you
could
gotta be
even-
kidding me!
which you could even consider a licensed theme at this point. Like you could argue that. I knew you'd react in that way. But
That was my first pick.
I'm like, actually,
Yeah, that was my first pick. What
I'm
are you
Wow.
talking
so
about?
happy I
Not
picked it
expecting
then.
that.
Bionicle and Ninjago are like two of the most beloved original. They are the most beloved original themes. This sucks.
Do you
I
even
hate
own a
this.
Ninjago set?
No, but it's a good pick if you
Oh
want
my
to
gosh.
win.
Okay, yeah.
They're probably the most successful, right?
For what it's
Yeah.
worth,
Well,
I think I did own 3 of the original Ninjago sets, and I like Ninjago. I just think it's gone on too long.
yeah, well, apparently the reboot people have really been liking. Like I was just looking at the show ratings for Dragons Rising, and each of the first 3 seasons have a higher than 4-star like average rating out of 5, not out of 10. So, which is higher than the first 2 seasons of Ninjago, which are the ones that I've seen. I think I am gonna go and start watching it and like kind of get to know what happened after the final battle season. Because as a kid, me and my brother just thought the series was like done with, and like it was only like 4 years after that we figured out that it was still going on. So, but the first 2 waves, so being the skeleton waves and the Rise of the Snakes wave, are like some of my favorite Lego sets of all time. I love the Japanese style architecture of the first one, especially like the Fire Temple is such a fantastic build. And then like the vehicles are really cool, and the snake line, the Destiny's Bounty. And then between then and Dragons Rising, I actually don't know a ton about the sets that came out, but when I do see them, I think Ninjago really excels in the play sets more than vehicles. So I typically like those, and like the modulars that they've made for those are like fantastic. I actually own the Ninjago City Gardens because I found it for $25 at a Goodwill. So I'm
That's
taking that
amazing.
apart so I can build it. Um, and then the Dragons Rising sets, like some of them that I see right now are some of the best sets out right now. Like that one dragon waterfall fountain set is like
Mhm.
such a great build from I think that was a year or two ago. Uh, but yeah, like it's similar to Bionicle, but honestly, I feel like it's more mainstream than Bionicle. That may be because of when I grew up, but like we literally got a Hollywood like blockbuster movie on it, and it's an
Yeah.
original Lego theme. So I think
No, I agree with
and
that.
my yeah, and I remember just going to school as a kid and like talking about the newest like episode of the show like when I was in first or second grade with my friends. Um, and there wasn't a lot of shows that was like that back then, honestly. Especially like at the school I went to. And I remember bringing the spinners to recess, and we would so like mine are super like scratched up on the bottom from being on asphalt, but we would spin them
Dang.
and like actually play the card game. So yeah, it's a big childhood thing for sure, but I still think it holds up to today.
Well,
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually looking at an Ninjago set in my room right now. It's actually the only one I've bought other than the Ninjago City sets, which I've bought all those retail, fortunately. But anyway, the Coal Dragon mech from this recent Dragons Rising wave is actually an insanely good set. Like as far as a mech goes, it's really well built and it pays homage to things like Exoforce, which might appear later for some of us. Um, and
It
so
ain't gonna
I
be
think
me, but yeah.
when Ninjago is high, it's doing really well.
well,
Yeah,
I agree. It's a great pick. Screw you. That was my first pick,
you're
but
welcome.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna move on to my pick. And I'm having to recalculate everything because honestly, the issue is for our audience and for what we like. I feel like we're all gonna start stealing each other's picks pretty soon. Um, so I need to come out with a banger. Now, again, my picks are not for what I like. It's for what the world likes. And what I think the world likes is power miners. And that's going to be my very first pick, power miners. I feel like it's been talked about here and I feel like it's a crazy nostalgic uh thing for our generation. I mean, it's great. You got the little rock monsters. The Crystal Sweeper is a personal favorite. I love that play feature. I know some people like Rock Raiders, but those people are wrong because that line sucks compared to the Chad that is Power Miners.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I was honestly, this is the one I was going back and forth with. Was this and Ninjago, and honestly, if Power Miners had a longer run, I think it could trump Ninjago. And
I
if they
just
would have,
I just need to
this
acknowledge
is
how unfair this is that we got Bionicle, Ninjago, and then freaking Power Miners over here. It's a
there's a
little.
there's a there's a lot more you could have picked from, bud. There's a lot more.
No, no, no,
Um,
no.
but I think if they would have given this the treatment of a Ninjago, where it got like its own TV show and like a little more characters, I think it could have elevated it to the level of a Bionicle and a Ninjago. But like as just a theme that you can play with, it's just a fantastic theme. I mean, we've talked about it so much on this podcast, so I don't really feel like I can say anything I haven't already said. But I'm assuming Levi would likes this theme.
Yes, I do like Power Miners. I actually never owned any of it as a child, but I remember loving like the stuff you could do Power Miners wise on Lego.com. I would play the games, watch the videos. Always wanted the sets, I just never got any. In adulthood, I have purchased some of the rock monsters, and there are a couple sets on my wanted list. They're just kind of pricey, so I'm waiting for a good yard sale find or uh, maybe a good find on eBay at some point.
Yeah, they're more expensive than you'd think, honestly, for a few of them, especially
Especially
that second
sealed.
wave. Yeah. Oh, I've given up hope on ever getting one of these sealed. And that like the third wave when it's like water. I don't mean that. That's not even like core power miners though, in my
I
opinion.
don't like the
Hmm.
third
But
wave,
like
honestly.
I like the play functions in it. I don't know if I like the color schemes as much, but I think it's still good.
The first wave is so iconic. I love the first
Oh
wave.
yeah.
All right. Well, we got our first 3 picks: Bionicle for Levi, Ninjago for Aidan, and Power Miners for me. So we're
And
gonna.
Brendan stays in third place.
All right.
I'm
Levi, we're gonna come back to you. What is your second pick for Lego original themes? I'm really curious about this because I feel like we got 3 of the juggernauts kind of out of the way, 2 of the juggernauts out of the way, and one that is also cool.
Yeah, so I want to be really honest. This one was I stuck to my gut with Bionicle because I think it's great, and this is only maybe paralleled by Ninjago in terms of its success overall. But uh, I chose that at the risk of losing this theme, so I'm very happy that no one else picked it. I'm going with Fantasy Era Castle.
It's a great
So
pick.
There's
just to
some
be
reasoning
clear,
behind
what years is that?
that. The years, I think like what it was coming out in like '07-ish. It's the ones
Yep,
with like the
'07
trolls and the
to '09.
skeletons. Yep. Okay.
Yep, it has
Perfect.
dwarves, crown knights, and trolls.
Okay.
Those are the 3
That
factions in it.
is a Chad pick,
Yeah.
by the way. That is a great pick.
Thank you. Uh, I was a little afraid that either of you would maybe pick that one first. I know you and I have talked about it a good amount, Brendan. We definitely
Mhm.
spoke about it at Atlanta this past February. But I had one set from the theme as a kid. It was the castle, actually. I own a couple other things now. I would kind of like to get the warship if I can ever find it below like $300, which is crazy. But
Yep.
it's a great theme. It's actually a lot more expansive than I remember it being. But some of the sets really are cool. And I will kind of like add a note to this of like, in my mind, the Vikings theme is also like very hand in hand stylistically with this theme. So a lot of the time I kind of lump that one in there, even though for the purposes of today's video, those will be separate.
I could see that. I think Vikings uses Bionicle parts a lot more, and that's like its big
Yes.
like distinction from this, and its style. Like its Vikings is one of the most unique themes in its styling because of that. But the color
Yes.
palette especially is very reminiscent of this, and
hmm
the dragons feel pretty similar. At
Yes.
least for me. So I've never really thought about
Mhm.
that, but you're totally right. I
They
really
also
like
share
this
some
theme.
torso prints.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah.
hmm
The like basic Crown Knights. Yep, you're totally right.
Yep.
But I had 2 of these sets as a kid. No, actually 3, and it was the smallest ones. And I played with them like a ton. And I don't know, like when I think castle, this is what I think. I don't think '80s '90s castle. I mean that's
hmm
also part of when
Yeah, I'd agree
where
with
I
that.
grew up.
This is also what I remember when I think of oh God, what's his name? John? No, not Johnny Thunder. Clutch Powers.
Clutch Powers.
I think of
Yes.
Fantasy Era Castle when I think of Clutch Powers.
Yep, I'd agree. Well, most of the story takes place in that
Well, I
and
just
Power
I
Miners.
always love the skeletons and stuff. I thought they were cooler than just other people, which is ironic because like I know that's what most of Castle is, but like I like the wizard controlling everything. I don't know, and also the trolls. So great, so great. What a great pick.
Yeah.
That's my favorite pick so far.
Thank you. Also remember, like, we didn't have Lord of the Rings yet. So, like,
No.
anything, this was definitely the closest thing we had to Lord of the Rings. I remember, like, substituting a lot of characters and stuff for Lord of the Rings. Like, I used, in the castle set, there was, like, the dragon with the dragon rider. I, like, substituted that for, like, the Witch King of Angmar. And I didn't have nearly enough figures to complete the cast. But, I mean, that was definitely a highlight childhood theme of mine, even though I did not have very much of it.
Yeah. All right, Aiden. What is your second pick?
It is one that is not my second favorite out of the ones that are left, but it is one that I fear would be selected with the next pick if I didn't take it here. And I feel this is also going to cause some strife in you, Brendan, and that is Lego Adventurers,
No!
which
You gotta
ran
be kidding me!
late
What is
90s,
wrong with you?
2000s.
Why are you like this?
Good
You're a
pick.
horrible person. You suck.
Understandable crash
That was
out.
my next pick. What? This
That's so funny.
sucks. This is a terrible episode. Oh my god. Alright. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, Johnny Thunder, it might be the most iconic okay, I'm not counting Ninjago when I say this, but like the most iconic like character from any Lego original theme, maybe Magisto from Castle. You could argue, but I would say
No, Johnny
that
Thunder is
it's
definitely.
Johnny
Johnny
Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah, Castle fans will say something else about that, but it's just iconic. Like the sets are great. It's Indiana Jones before Indiana Jones is also like
Yes.
part of the reason I really like it, and I love the jungle sets especially. Like that's just such a great like design to me. And the Orient Expedition sets, I love how they all flow like one into the other. Like a
Yeah.
big thing for
Yep.
me is I love Lego themes that just like you can see the story if you just look at the sets. Like you
Yep.
don't need to have a comic book with it or a like, TV show. You can just see it. And you can totally see it with adventurers, and it's clear who the bad guys are. It's clear who the good guys are. It's very clear what's going on, and it's just like they're all like they don't hold up by modern standards in terms of like building style, but like they
Oh,
hold
I
up better
disagree.
than they should. The Scorpion Palace, the Scorpion Palace does not hold up at all. Or wait, is that the one I'm thinking of? The one with the elephant in it. The I think it's the India temple. That one
Yeah,
is a little rough by modern standards.
it
Like
is.
a
But
lot of
the
them
but
do hold up.
the Chinese temple is I still think that's an amazing set that holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I was still
Adventurers
going to
is
say a
so
lot of like
unfair. Dang it.
the small and mid-size sets hold up too. Like there's that boat from Orient Expedition. There's the hot air
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
balloon. That is, I
Yep.
think some of those are really fun, and those are like the mid price range ones.
I think the desert sets hold up too to an extent. They don't hold up, but I still think they're really fun sets. Specifically, the Sphinx set is really good,
Yeah.
and I would say the main. I forgot what the Emperor's whatever. I forgot what the main desert set is, but you guys know the one I'm talking about. That's a great set.
hmm
Adventurers is truly that was going to be my number one pick, and then I wanted to steal it back from Aidan, so I stole Power Miners, but I guess is what I
You
get.
might have screwed yourself there.
Yeah, I
But
did.
whatever.
Great picks from both of you. Well, really having to scramble on my feet here because my first two picks got stolen. Um, so I'm just gonna go out swinging here. I'm gonna choose a pretty crazy one that is gonna be a debatable one as well. I'm gonna choose Lego Studios. Now, is this
I don't count
licensed?
that as a that's a licensed theme.
Is it
That is
licensed?
100% a license. Yes, it has the Jurassic Park licensing on the set.
Well, but it's Lego Studios.
All right, man.
What
Uh,
about
I'll let
what
you
if
have
you?
it.
We'll let you have it. Yeah, I think the stuff that is not Jurassic Park would
Here's
be
the
acceptable.
bigger issue is Steven Spielberg film kit. Does that count as a license?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Let me pull up
What
the
what does
brick set.
Bricklink classify it as? Or sorry, yeah, Brickset. I'm looking at it right now.
It's
Okay,
complicated. This
here's
is
the
a
thing.
complex one.
Here's the thing. If you're gonna pick this, you can't keep the Spider-Man sets. You can't keep the Jurassic Park sets. So really, that takes out half the sets. Like you're kind of just left with the more. This is a horrible
The
pick if you're not
crappy-
including those.
All right, fine. Then I'll retract my studios one. But I was
Okay,
curious
there
if
you
That's a
go.
bit of a
what
bummer.
that counts as. But okay, so I'm gonna cancel out studios
If it has
here.
Spider-Man in it, it's not a licensed theme. I mean, it is a licensed theme. Spider-Man's in it.
So really thinking on my toes here. I'm gonna go with the Chad. And this is one I literally just thought of. I'm gonna go with the classic, the nostalgic Lego City. Now, specifically City, we are considering probably from about 2005 to current. Um,
Yep.
Lego City. I mean,
Yes.
I there's so much to say, but I mean, we can just talk about the highlights. The 2010 police station construction theme from God, when is it? Like 2009, the Coast Guard sets. I mean, it's one that we take. It's a theme that we take for granted, I'd say.
Yeah, and I'd say it's one that's still good today. Like
Hmm.
when you walk into any Lego aisle, usually the best sets are the city sets. It's just like I just don't have the space to make a Lego city, and I want to prioritize collecting other things right now. But like they're really well designed still, and they are
Yeah.
like still pretty creative. Like the I really like the food trucks they've been doing recently with like the ice cream truck and the pizza truck. Like that's been fun.
Hmm.
Um, and the modern construction sets are really good. I
Yes.
still prefer the childhood era, but that's probably some nostalgia. I mean, one of the most iconic things from Lego is that rescue helicopter ad from like 2006.
Hey.
Yeah,
A great impersonation there.
thank you for the. That was actually pretty. That was pretty spot on, actually.
Hey. um. Yeah, Levi, do you have a history with Lego City?
I really don't. I was given a Lego City, one of the small police helicopters, as a gift as a child, and I actually played with it quite a lot. And then I had like a polybag helicopter that I got when I was like 10. But other than that, I owned no Lego City until the couple
Really?
I've bought more in more recent years. They're great sets. I just never really got super into City. I did at one point want uh, there were a couple City sets I remember kind of wanting, like the Crane, I think it was, around like late 2000s, I want to say. Um, but no, I really do not have that much of a history with City. Although I will note that some of the more recent, like Jungle Expedition sets, I'm waiting for some of those to go on clearance because I would kind of like to get a couple of those just to see what they're
Yeah.
like. They look really good.
I'm surprised you didn't get like gifted them because I feel like that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like the default thing that you get that I at least that I got given when I was like in the four to
Oh
six
yeah.
range. I got a lot of city sets. Like I got three of that police helicopter one year from like three separate people. So I just
Yep.
have three
Oh
police
wow.
helicopters.
Classic set. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. I think my pick for City is just iconic childhood. I'm not saying it's the strongest. I'm not saying it has just the coolest, but it's just classic. It's absolute classic. But
Stands the
okay,
test of time.
yeah, still going. Okay,
Yeah.
so just highlighting real quick: Levi with Bionicle and Fantasy Era Castle from 2007 2009. Aidan with Ninjago and Adventurers, really solid picks, and then Brendan with Power Miners and City. All right, so Levi, coming back to you, what is going to be your third pick out of the five?
Okay, well, Brennan, I also want to point out, I think your picks are also quietly solid. I think
Eh,
they also have their place among the ranks. But oh man,
yeah, at
this
the
might be my
bottom.
hardest one. Um,
Only
man,
two left
because
after this.
okay, I'm kind of split. It's like, do I want to go with like my heart, but also I feel like one of these y'all are definitely not likely to pick this round. But if I lose it, it will kind of crush me. Um, Oh man. Okay, so I'll go with my gut here. This is massive amounts of nostalgia, and I'm by no means claiming that this is the best Lego theme ever. I just want to put that out there. But I'm going with the ever classic, ever slept on Dino Attack.
I knew it was coming.
Um, I love that theme. That my second Lego set ever. My first Lego set ever was the Lego Star Wars V-wing Starfighter from Episode 3. But then my second Lego set I got at the Lego store in Chicago when I went with my parents, and it was the Urban Avenger versus Mutant Raptor. And I played with that set so much in tandem with my Lego Star Wars little V-wing Starfighter. Those were like I made hundreds of mocks between those two sets. But the dinosaur was awesome. And then last summer, after Brick World Chicago, I went back and bought the entirety of the Dino Attack theme on eBay. Someone was selling the sets used, but with unused sticker sheets on the two biggest sets, and all the dinosaurs' eyes still lit up. They were selling all of it. I think I got it for like $150.
Wait, wait, wait,
Built
wait,
all
wait,
those
wait, wait,
sets.
wait. Did you say the dinosaur's eyes lit up? What are you talking about?
The mutant Tyrannosaurus Rexes, the ones that come in the tank and the helicopter, there's a
Are the,
button on the back of their head and their eyes light up.
are
That's
you
crazy. I didn't know
serious?
that.
What? That's
Yeah, they're
insane.
sick.
That's so
The thing that
cool.
sucks though is you cannot replace the batteries. So when they die, they're dead forever because there's no way to replace the batteries without actually destroying the parts.
Isn't that was one of the worst parts about the light up idea was always really cool from Lego, but for some reason they just made it so inaccessible to replace.
Yeah.
I love that pick, Levi. Dino Attack is you've said to me it's the most American Lego non-licensed theme, and I agree. Like it's all about guns, helicopters, killing things. Like it's oh man, I just want to eat a hot dog
Yeah.
now. Like
I'll also
Well,
note
it's
with Dino Attack is like it's I'm not like a blatant American patriot. I'll put that out there. But yes, I have said that jokingly many times. I also think it is very fascinating with Dino Attack is that North America got all the guns and shooting stuff. Although it was trank guns. We'll just
tranquilizer.
leave it there, man. Tranquilizer guns. Uh, that was not explicitly stated very often. But then all of Europe got instead of guns, they got nets and cages, which the sets are still cool. But I just thought that was a funny nerf by Lego for Europe.
It is truly one of the historically like craziest modern Lego themes to me.
It is
The
so
fact that the
strange.
fact that Lego put it through and said it's fine, we can just create two different versions of the sets is wild. They would never do
Yeah,
something like that.
I feel like I should just listen to like Deftones the whole time while building it. Like Deftones, any kind of like butt rock from the 2000s just fits that theme so perfectly.
Yep.
no. Well, I just think the helicopter is really cool from that theme. Outside of
It's
that,
huge.
I think the helicopter is like the best helicopter they've ever made, honestly. But outside of that, I don't really care for the rest of the sets. But I also didn't have them as a kid, so that also adds to that. But that is cool that they can light up. Like I do like that. Um, and like the whole like rebrand thing is a really fascinating part of Lego history. Like they even changed the name of the theme when they put it in
Yeah,
Europe to
Dino
Dino
2010.
2010, which is makes it really confusing when there's another Dino theme that's in the 2010s. But
Yeah.
I'd say it's the best Dino theme Lego's done for sure, which isn't saying a lot because the Adventurers Dino theme is the worst part of Adventurers,
Yep.
and the Dino
Yes.
2011
Unfortunately.
theme wasn't really good. And then like the studios dinosaurs, I mean calling those dinosaurs are a bit of a stretch, but if you want a non Jurassic Park, Jurassic World dinosaur sets, these are where you should be looking.
All right.
Shh. Don't
Fan-
make them more expensive, please.
Fantastic pick by Levi. Aiden, we're back to you. What is your third pick?
So I went back and forth between two a lot for this, and this one. Now I'm gonna make the choice to pick the one that I like in my heart of hearts way more. Because in the last one I kind of just picked one that I liked, but I knew was gonna take it. And this was one I actually considered taking first overall because I like it that much, but I knew for sure that Brendan wasn't taken. I had a sneaking suspicion that Levi wasn't going to, and that is the 2010 theme, I believe, Lego Atlantis. Um,
Ah,
Mm.
Now this is another theme I'm super into at the moment. It's because of the one mock that guy. What's do you remember the guy's name who made that huge
Cheesy
mock on
Studios'
YouTube?
friend. I don't know his actual name.
Okay. He also did all of the Star Wars mini kits video, but he made a huge mock and like went through the history of it. And I mean, I've always been a sucker for underwater themes. I had Aqua Raiders as a kid, and I like that. The Aqua Zone sets of the '90s, I really like those. But this is my favorite one because I mean, I've talked about it in other themes I've picked. Like, it's a pretty clear story if you look at it. So Atlantis released in three waves. In the first wave, they're gathering all the keys to the portal. Um, and it's but the big flagship set is their headquarters. And then the second wave, they actually get to the portal. Um, so that's like a pretty clear like three act story progression. And then in the third wave, which would be the third act, it's actually sets from when they are in the actual uh city of Atlantis, and I
Hmm.
just really like the story structure. Like all of the figures are like great. Like I'd say it rivals Power Miners for like how creative they got with some of the figures, like the shark guy, the barracuda guy.
Yeah,
Like they're just great
I love the
figures.
squid guy.
Uh, yep, the squid guy's really cool, and then like the uh color scheme of the sets was really solid with the red and then the translucent green. Like I just and it's surprisingly cheap to still collect. Like you can get some of the sets for like $5-10 used, like
Yep.
open. So it's a very easy theme to get into, and if it's one you haven't looked at before, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, my third pick is Lego Atlantis.
I think that's a really solid pick. It's not one of my personal favorites, but I respect Atlantis, and I think it's a cool theme.
That's a good pick. I will note that was not really on my list to pick. I think it's a great theme. I owned no sets as a child either. It was yet another theme I really wanted. I remember watching the mini movie they had on Lego.com, but in adulthood, yet again, I've purchased a couple. I got like the sealed special edition set at Brickworld Chicago a couple years ago for like a really good price, and I still have it. I'd probably just sell it and then buy a used copy if I ever want to build the set, though.
Which set is that again? Is that the from the
It's
third
like the
wave?
transforming tank one. I remember it's got like
Yes.
the
Okay.
the
Yep.
Bobby Smiley guy in it, but
Yep.
yeah,
I remember that.
great theme,
I actually,
excellent
I
pick.
actually surprisingly didn't own any of these as a kid either. I actually still don't own
Oh,
any of
really?
them. I have the shark as a keychain that we took the top out of.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's a really yeah, it's a really cool theme to me.
I actually my favorite part of that theme is actually probably all the buildable creatures. I think the buildable creatures are a lot of fun. Just like the aesthetic they went with. I think some of my favorites are probably like the buildable squid, and then there's also uh like a really big shark like animal that I remember always jumping out to me as a kid.
Yeah, and it kind of takes out their operators for both of those as well.
Yes. A little bit of a Dino Attack vibe coming through on some of the sea creatures
That's
now that I'm
true.
looking at it.
Yeah. Okay, so now back to me. I have, I think, a crazy pick here that no one's going to be expecting. My next pick is going to be the legendary creator expert. And this includes the modulars. Uh, I mean, that's the big one. But I believe it
Oh, I didn't think
includes,
about that.
I think it includes lots of non licensed Lego sets that you might think that are legendary. Um, I believe like a lot of just the buildable stuff is under technically this theme, but I'm really focusing on the modulars. So, um, and heck, even if you want to be really, really naggy about it and just be like, well, modern modern modulars are under the what's the new icons or whatever,
Yep.
then fine, you can do that. Then just include the original modulars. But no matter what, I've definitely got you got your Green Grocer, you got the Cafe Corner, Grand Emporium, Pet Shop, the Fire Station. I mean, I think some incredible sets with Creator Expert. Just
It's
simply
actually a
incredible.
really good pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
It
very good pick.
just totally gonna be honest, totally occurred to me in the last 5 minutes. But
That's so funny.
I total Chad think I mean amazing. And if you want to include up until recent, which Brickset does include more recent sets as a part of that line still. Um yeah, how do y'all want to do it? Is icons separate from
I would say that icons is separate because that
okay.
has included a lot of other things. So
Yes,
you get
has a
modular
lot of
buildings up
license.
until 2018 or 2019,
Hey, I'm
which
cool
is
with
like the
that.
peak.
Yeah,
There's a lot
Detective's
of good modulars in
Office.
that.
Detective's Office is a
Um,
great set.
you do also get all of the Winter Village sets
Yep.
for a while. I
Mm,
think that's under icons now.
Yep.
Um, they're the Winter Holiday Train. You get the carousel. You get the roller coaster.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
obviously the Aston Martin would not count for this. And the Ford Mustang. There's actually there's a few licensed things in here that won't count, but the things that are non-licensed definitely are more than licensed. So this definitely I would still count as a original theme. But yeah, you're basically getting the Winter Village sets and the modular sets, which are very good long running, almost like
yes.
themes in their own right. So you basically get 2 themes for the price of 1.
Yep. I think it was a
The
solid.
Parisian restaurant is one of my most wanted. It's the only modular I have interest in getting, but
That's my
unfortunately,
favorite
it is one of the
modular.
more desirable ones.
Yep.
I like the detective's office the most, actually. That's my favorite.
That is also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love
It's a
the
good one.
detectives. It's like a better version of the pet shop. I think it's incredible. But
I'd agree with that.
okay, so to round off this round, we have Levi with Bionicle, Fantasy Era Castle, and Dino Attack. Aidan with Ninjago, Adventurers in Atlantis, and Brendan with Power Miners, City, and Creator Expert. Again, also want to specify Creator Expert does not include normal creator sets, like some of the old buildable houses and stuff. Those are technically 2 different lines, I believe. So, all right, Levi, swinging it back to you. I'm really curious. I'm curious about yours, Aidan, as well, because now we're getting to the later half of the draft. What is your 4th pick, Levi?
Um, I got 2 left on my. So far, I've gotten all of my mains that I've wanted, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pick Lego Agents.
Ooh,
I thought
That's a great
someone
one.
might pick this, but I've gotten a little lucky, I think. But Agents is nostalgic for me. I played like my cousins and I at Christmas time used to like pretend play Lego Agents. Like we'd pick an agent, and I remember like role playing. It was so much fun. And then we had like a few of the sets each. Recently bought the volcano base with box for like $70, which is insane.
oh, whoa! You
But
got that set?
yeah, I found it on eBay.
Oh,
Lowballed a guy. He sold it to me with a box for I think it was under $80.
dang,
It's like a
lucky find. That's a
$300 set.
great
That's
set.
crazy.
That's a really fun
It's a
set.
little dusty and missing a part or two, but the stickers are well applied. I just need to get the last couple pieces and build it. But great theme. Had the little like sled speeder thing in the helicopter pack as a kid, and then also had like the 4x4 with the helicopter, which is Agents 2.0. But then also a lot of other really fun themes there, or I guess sets in there. So I'll take Agents at number 4.
Yeah, that was on my list. I assume Aiden, it might
Ah,
have been on yours as well.
Yeah, it was on my list. It was a little lower down. Like, I might have taken that with the 5th pick.
Yeah.
This was one of my brother's favorite themes as a kid, but like we didn't actually have any of the sets. It was just from looking at it in like books and
hmm
online. I love the like Lego color designs and color palettes used to be way more simple, and I think this is a very good uh like theme that shows that. Like you get the green and the
hmm
dark blue for the good guys, and you get the white, black, and orange for the bad guys, and it's a really good contrast, and the figs are just really cool. And the sets are really cool. Like I think it's a great overall theme, and like there's honestly I don't think there's a bad set in this one either. I think it's a very good, well-rounded theme.
Great play value. Oh, also, I think I forgot to mention, I love the submarine set with the glow in the dark octopus. I own 2 of that set at miraculous prices for both. That set is a lot of fun with the boat and the
Really,
submarine.
Mm.
So much playability with that set.
I want the shark one. That's the number one that I would want, or maybe
I
the
got that
gold
sealed at
heist with the
Chicago a
plane.
couple years ago.
I
It's not that expensive.
No, I think I paid like 80 for it sealed.
it's
Yeah, I would do that.
this is a theme if I was rich, I was really at one point wanting to do a video on my own personal channel about like a full retrospective, but it's a little too expensive for me. But absolutely fantastic pick.
Just
Um,
sell your pirate
Okay.
sets and then do that. The
that
people
wouldn't
want it.
even the volcano cell. Anyways, great theme.
No, if you're patient, that stuff does pop up on eBay for a really good price, and it doesn't sell super fast. So I would encourage you to look, and I would be happy to lend you some of my copies of the more expensive sets if you ever wanted to do that video.
Ah,
Maybe it's something I'll consider. Um, again, all right, fantastic
Again,
pick by the way, Levi. Every single one of your 2 guys' picks have been very good in my opinion. But okay, Aiden, what is your 4th Lego original theme pick?
so this is the oldest theme that I actually own.
Oh,
Um,
I know what you're about to pick.
so I think that this tips you off on that, and like I love some of the like classic themes. There is the like there's the like big three I would consider based on my uncle's collection. And that's Western, Classic Space, and the one that I will be choosing is 80s and 90s Pirates. I I mean I
Ooh.
just love pirates in general. Like Assassin's Creed Black Flag is one of my favorite games, and I haven't even finished it yet. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like that's actually one of my favorite licensed themes. Even though like not all the sets are fantastic in that, I still really like them. And
Yeah.
like pirate ships are really cool to me. I own the I'm forgetting the actual name for it now, but it's the Forbidden Island set, which is a uh, hideout for the pirates, and like I love that. The design for all of the Spaniards or conquistadors, their ships are really cool to me. And then the Royal Navy, I think, is a fish. No, it's the Imperial Navy. It's one of those two. They're like uh, hideouts, or not hideouts. They're like bases with the yellow, orange, and white. I really like that. It's and you can combine them so easily. The base plates are just so cool to me. Like it just screams old
Hmm.
Lego for that. And like we talked about how Johnny Thunder's a pretty iconic original Lego minifigure. I'd say that the a Redbeard one is pretty up there with the likes of Johnny Thunder.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just an overall great theme. A lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for it, and you can see that in the prices
Hmm.
of some of the ships for this. But I actually like the more land-based sets too.
Yes, those are so much fun.
I think
I'm
the
pretty
box
sure.
art also for these sets
Oh
is a
yes.
super underrated part. It's got a very 80s 90s charm with that like almost clay look to them, if you will.
No, I tell you what you mean. And
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
also pretty
That
sure this
was
theme introduced us the monkey uh like animal minifig.
I
That's
believe
like
it.
was it
hmm
Yeah,
that's a pretty iconic part for me.
introduced the shark. I'm pretty sure as well.
Yep, that is also
Yep.
correct. And
Um,
I think alligators too.
What about
and
the parrot?
And
yeah, I think so.
mhm.
It also, I believe, introduced. Actually, I not that I believe. I'm 100%. This was a monumental theme that introduced guns to Lego.
Yep, I think it is the first one. And
Firearms. Yep.
Also prosthetics, hooks and peg legs.
I would personally group in the Islanders sub theme in this too.
That
Yes,
is,
And I
yeah,
think
that's
I
those
would
part
are
of it.
very
agree.
good sets. Yeah,
Yep.
I think those are great sets. Like my one of my uncles had them, so like I played with those as a kid actually.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I would like to get a couple of those one day. But yeah,
Yeah.
just overall, like
Yeah.
every set that I see from this is very well made.
Yeah. 100%. Good.
Yes.
Great pick. Great
That's a
pick.
great pick. That was my top backup pick, actually. I'm a
Really,
little bummed, but I wasn't going to pick out my top five. I love the 80s, 90s Pirates. I've done a couple mocks based off of it, and I have a couple more planned. Um, I really like the Conquistador figures. Horrible history, but cool minifigures with like the chrome
yep.
breastplate. I found a couple of the cheaper red ones at a used bookstore a little while back, and I fell in love with those figures. They are expensive though to army build. If you want even like 4 or 5, it'd cost you like 15 for the cheap ones and 40 for the expensive ones on Bricklink.
I'm a personal fan of the Islanders. I love some of
Yes.
those Islander sets. I just I don't have personal nostalgia for them, but I 1,000% can be like these would be great toys for kids if that makes sense. They're really well crafted. They're really fun. I think you have some really good play sets within this line. So yeah,
Hmm.
amazing, great pick, great pick.
Excellent pick.
100%. Okay. So, now on to me. My fourth pick, and I'm debating between two. I have two that I know I want to do, so I'm going to do one of the two, and it's going to be a sleeper pick that a lot of people are not going to understand. I'm going, and Aidan, you might know where I'm about to go.
I
I'm
have no
going
idea.
with the excellent, classic 90s Lego Ninjas. So
Oh
not
yeah, okay, that
Ooh.
Ninjago,
makes sense. Yep.
but it is the 90s Ninja. Now, Levi, have you actually even seen these sets? Now, it's technically a sub theme of Castle, but I'd very much consider it its own theme. It had its own
No, it's
like
definitely its
wagon
own
and
theme.
everything.
Yeah, I
Oh
would
yeah,
agree with
I've
that.
seen these sets. Shout out Michael Hitchcock's for those crazy ninja movies back in the day. But yeah, fun sets. I own a couple of the ninjas, I think, but nothing else. Um, those are a lot of fun. Good pick.
Yeah.
I
Oh, go ahead.
I actually own one of these now, which I got when I visited you, Brennan, in February. And I think it's a theme that is very good when it's good, but when it's bad, it's pretty bad. Like the
Might be
I
true.
like
Yeah,
I like the Stone Tower Bridge set a lot. That's like one of the best like vintage Lego sets in my opinion. And then what's the other one that you have that's pretty big, Brennan?
I have the Emperor's Stronghold, which is a really. I made a video about this. It's a little older on my channel, but if anyone wants to go see some of these great sets, they're there. The Emperor's Stronghold is really cool. It's on this like brown base plate. It's got this really cool like Japanese style build. The figures in this line are really underrated as well. The samurais
Yep.
look freaking awesome.
the
Um,
chrome is sick.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Really, really it's a theme no one talks about, and it's also pretty cheap. Not even pretty. It's really cheap in the aftermarket, and it's an undiscovered.
Eh,
It's an undiscovered Lego theme.
I wouldn't agree with that. I think
There
it's decently expensive. I'd say like the
there are a
Stone Tower
couple that
Bridge
are
is like
really expensive.
$120. Yeah, I think the good ones are expensive, but like the Stone Robbers Hideaway, I don't think that's a great set, and that's pretty cheap. The
I
one
think
that
it's
I
okay.
got was
I think they're
actually
all
pretty
right.
cheap. Uh, I think this is a theme that could have benefited from another year or two, and then it would have been like one of the like better themes of like the late '90s, early 2000s. But it just needs like one more great wave of sets for me to rank it really high. But I think the like three or four that are good are really really good.
Yeah,
So I think it's a good
Hmm.
pick because of that reason.
I think if you have love for Japan or like ancient Japan and Asian like architecture and the look, you'll really enjoy it, especially if you've played a certain PlayStation exclusive game called Ghost of Tsushima. You'll thoroughly enjoy classic
I just
ninjas.
downloaded it,
Oh, you're
so I'll be
gonna
playing that
message
soon.
me in a little bit and be like, "Oh, I need to get more ninja sets." But
Well,
yeah,
actually, the thing is, like you mentioned, how you like the architecture for it. In some ways, I feel like the first wave of Ninjago sets can do a better job of replicating that. Sometimes, like the Fire Temple, I think is like honestly, I think the Fire Temple clears any of these sets personally.
uh,
They had a lot larger
For
parts
that
catalog.
I
especially,
would disagree, and I
yeah.
disagree for a reason though, and that's because Ninjago is Ninjago. It's based on a show. It's very clearly cartoony and stuff. I feel like these older ninja sets are a little bit more classical. I guess is a good way. Also, the box art on these sets is some of the best box art
Oh, the
Legos ever
yes,
done, ever in existence. And again, a lot of people don't know what these look like. I'll put some pictures up in the YouTube video, but yeah, that's my fourth pick. But we're gonna swing this
that's a
back
good pick.
round.
Yeah.
Thank you. Swing this back round to Levi. Oh wait, recap. I'm sorry, I'm recapping, but just so everyone, especially audio, can keep track. Levi with Bionicle, Fantasy Era, Dino Attack, and Agents. Aidan with Ninjago, Adventurers, Atlantis, and Classic Pirates. And then Brendan with Power Miners, City, Creator Expert, and 90s Ninja. Okay, Levi, what is your final pick? Gonna round out your draft here.
Ooh. Um, I want to actually throw it back to the ninja thing really quick. There's something I want to say. Yes, most of the sets are pretty affordable, but then they did those like three minifigure pack things. Those are insanely expensive. Like there's the one with the two green ninjas in it that has the original ninja wrap in green, which I know is a very sought after piece. That thing on Bricklink is like $500, which is crazy. The figure packs cost more than the set. But
Well, it's because
anyway,
they never made Lloyd in that way, so people bought that
yeah,
fig to like complete that Lloyd, and that's why it's so expensive.
yes, exactly. But anyway, I think the ninja was a great pick. Uh, you scared me for a minute when you said the most excellent 90s ninja because I thought you were about to take my last pick. Um,
Oh,
and my last pick is going to be Exoforce. Uh,
oh I didn't even.
probably
Amazing. Amazing pick. Is it Exo Force with a hyphen, like Exo hyphen Force?
Yes,
Yes.
I
Okay,
think so.
cool.
That that theme is also one I never owned as a kid. I still don't own any sets. I do want a few. A lot of them are pretty expensive. I have a good number of the figures. I think the figures are definitely an acquired taste, but I have used some of the parts and just like mocks and other stuff. Um, but very mech heavy, definitely a predecessor and big inspiration for Ninjago in that regard. Um, I think Ninjago improves on the mech concept and stability in almost every way, given the current parts collection or selection. But love Exo Force as a theme. Am interested in buying more. Would really like that Sentai Fortress, but that thing is very expensive. Um,
Big set.
so fun theme. Don't own a lot of it, but definitely one I idolized a lot as a child. A couple friends had some sets from that theme too.
That is I just I wasn't into it at all until maybe the last few months, and I'm into it just because of how silly and goofy it's kind of like a Dino Attack type of theme where it only could have existed in the 2000s. It is such an
Yes,
anime style. Like the heads are freaking hilarious. They're just like the most rage induced angry faces I think Lego has ever
yes,
made. They're
quite funny.
fantastic. Um, yeah. Aiden, what are your thoughts on Exoforce?
I'm not a big fan. I want to be real. Like
Oh,
for
No,
me,
that's fair.
I
It's
feel
definitely an
like I
acquired
feel
taste.
well. What's funny is you say the minifigures are the acquired taste. That's the part I like the most about the theme. Actually, is I do like the
Really?
minifigures. I'm just not a big mech guy, and I feel like if you're not, you're immediately out on this theme because that's 90% of what it is.
That is
Like
true.
I feel like Ninjago has become too mech heavy recently, and that's like my big gripe with modern Ninjago.
mm,
So like I stay pretty consistent in that. Like I like the Power Miners mech is like the only one that I can really think of that comes to mind, and like the Samurai X mech from Ninjago. And other than that, I really
Mhm.
don't care about any like Lego mechs, and I feel like it's just this might be because of an oversaturation of the market recently in what they do because they do it for
Yes,
dreams a lot. I just feel like half of the stuff I look at, Monkey Kid is especially mech heavy sometimes.
mech
Uh,
heavy.
if you just like look at modern Lego, it's so mech heavy, and I just have kind of gotten tired of it. And like I wasn't big on it as a
Yes,
kid either. Um, this being said, I do think this has some of the best mechs Legos made. I think the Stealth Hunter is actually one of the few mechs I could see myself buying. But as an overall theme, I don't think I'd even put in my top 20, honestly. But I
that's
can
fair.
like see why people would personally like it. But I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's great either. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle for me. But yeah, I can see why people like it.
Yeah, it just captured my imagination a lot as a kid because like there were not a lot of other themes that were that mech heavy in the era that Exoforce existed. And anything that had prior mechs like space and life on Mars, like those were a lot more rudimentary than these were. I feel like these really um, tapped into a little bit of Bionicle in some ways, bringing over the ball joint connectors to system. And I really, uh, I don't know, I just was in awe of a lot of those sets as a kid. Um, but yes, I will agree with that. Mechs are a way overused trope now, so I think in a lot of ways the theme is less cool, but I still love it.
Yeah, and I think if I would have had him as a kid, it also could have changed that as well. As with
That's
most of these
fair.
themes that we don't.
I'm gonna add on one more thing to the Exoforce conversation. I agree 100% that mechs suck and are overused now. The reason I like them in Exoforce is they have the 2000s Lego building style, which I am nostalgic for and I enjoy. So I think those mechs are nice because of the
Mhm.
time and also the colors. Um, and
The
also
amount of
kind
stickers does stink though.
oh, I didn't know there was a lot of stickers, but
Very
Exoforce is
sticker
great. If I
heavy.
would have thought of Exoforce, I would have said Exoforce by now, honestly. Okay, that's a fantastic final pick. Aiden, what is going to be your last pick?
So when I picked Classic Pirates, there was two other sets I was or two other themes I was considering, and I was like, whatever one doesn't get picked, I'll just pick it. But you guys didn't pick either of them, so now I have to narrow it down. And the two themes that I had kind of narrowed it down to, which is funny, because the theme I'm not selecting was previously on my top 5 Lego themes a year ago, and I've just kind of soured on it like a little. So I'm not picking Kingdoms. That was one of the ones that I was thinking of. Whereas a while ago that would have been in my top 3. But I'm gonna select Mars Mission as my final pick.
Mars Mission. Oh, that's a. Well, so hold on. Is this the? What years is this from? I honestly I forget because there was multiple
It's
Mars like sets, wasn't there?
You're thinking
It's
Life
like
on
oh 05
Mars,
to
which is
08 or something,
which is a
right?
pretty not even near. I it's later than '05 because there's Life on Mars,
It is.
which is from really it started in '05. Mars
Oh
Mission.
no, I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
looking right
I was
now.
like, really?
That was just a guess.
I think it's like in the '07, '08 range.
Okay, you're gonna have to actually. I'm gonna have to look up these sets and stuff. So I guess
You've
go
never
ahead.
seen Mars Mission?
I just get it confused with the 2000s one so bad.
It's like
Okay,
white
that's
and
fair.
orange, trans
Yep,
green
this is
aliens.
the white and orange trans green. The aliens glow in the dark, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, okay, the little
Something,
green
yeah.
dudes. I'm
I
gonna. I think this is kind of a hot take. I don't think this is a very good theme.
I know that a lot of people don't like this one as much. It's my favorite space theme. Um and the like big vehicles for this are really cool to me. I never had any of them as a kid, but even like the small ones are really cool. Like the aliens could be better. Yes, I feel like that's a fair argument. But like the arrow tube system that they had with them, where you can see it in the big flagship set for the first wave, especially with the big launch control, where you like slam your fist down on this like black, I think it's plastic, and it like launches aliens like all around the base. I always thought that was super cool as a kid.
Mhm.
And I mean, I just like the color scheme. Like the orange and the white work super well. I love
Yes.
the how the astronauts are designed, especially with that like gold visor. That's really cool to me. And then like the aliens, I don't like as much their side of stuff. I just really like the space side.
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I disagree with everything. This is the hottest pick for me, in my opinion,
Really?
of this draft. Yeah, I don't like Mars Mission. I like the concept. Um, I think this suffers heavily from the 2000s overuse of slopes. I think the astronaut minifigure designs I don't enjoy at all. Um, I
What? That's the crazy
yeah,
part,
That's
honestly.
crazy.
I
I'm
don't
with Aidan on this one.
I don't enjoy this theme.
Maybe you have the hot take, not me.
Yeah, maybe I'm not super into it,
Uh,
but
like the alien mothership will like split apart into different things. Like it's just like a really well creatively designed theme too. Like I just really like that aspect.
I just think of Ben
Hmm.
10 when I see it when I see the alien figures.
Oh, I love
I can
Ben
understand hating on the alien figure.
No, I like the alien figure. That's the one thing I do like.
What?
Yeah, they're
10. But
weird.
okay,
They're weird.
This
But
is this is some interesting takes you have
I
here.
I like the alien set. So I like the alien like mothership thing with the claws. Like I'm all right with it. It's not my favorite thing, but I like it.
dude, I'm the opposite. I think the astronaut stuff is so cool.
Yeah,
And I think a
same.
lot of
Like
the alien stuff is just a little bit of a hot mess in a lot of it. But like,
yeah,
where's this? The MT-21 mobile mining unit. It was a $10 set. That set is awesome. And
I
then
have that one. That's one of the few
there's
ones
like
I have.
the tank MT-61, and then the hypersonic aircraft thing is
The
crazy.
hypersonic aircraft is so cool. That's one of the coolest ships they've
Huge.
done.
well,
It has like the airplane
Inch-
wings backwards. Like,
Yep.
interesting final pick. But now we are on to the final pick of the entire video or podcast or whatever. So my final pick, and this is, I think, gonna surprise you guys. I'm gonna choose one that I think is another one that's kind of a slept on, but it's an acquired taste. This one's gonna be acquired. You're gonna have to like the idea. I'm gonna go with Monster Fighters from what was it,
Ooh,
like 2011, 2010?
I think it was
Monster Fighters.
2010.
Now, this is not for everyone, but I like Halloween. I'm not super into horror movies, but my brother is, and I appreciate them for what they're worth. And I think it was a really unique original license themes that honestly blends license with with non-license, because there's Frankenstein, but he's not really Frankenstein, you know? So I like Monster Fighters. It's a really small theme. There's only I think seven
Yes.
sets. But they're cool.
2012 is the year.
Oh, 2012. You got the Vampire Hearst, which I think is cool. I think that's a neat set, and it's also a very grim set while also being kind of fun. It was also one of the last original themes to include guns and firearms. This is right before Lego really turned off from using firearms in their sets for a while. So yeah, Monster Fighters. That's the one. I think the Ghost Train is absolutely spectacular.
Yes.
My brother has it. I love that set. It's really cool. The Graveyard with the zombies is really cool. The Frankenstein set is really cool. I'm not saying it's the best unlicensed theme in the world, but I think it's a really cool one from the 2010s that a lot of people skip.
So
I
I
regret
disagree
skipping it.
a lot in the fact that you're saying that this is an acquired taste, because I do not care for horror. I don't care for Halloween. Like honestly, it might be my least favorite holiday, but I
That's
I
Easter.
really like these sets.
Easter's lame.
Nah, you get money for Easter. You don't get money for Halloween.
I never got money for
But
Easter.
man, your Easter bunny
I got
suck.
Lego Indiana Jones one Easter, so goated.
I got the
Yep.
Lord dying for my sins. I mean, I appreciate that, but other than that, Easter
Yeah.
sucks. Terrible holiday.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
what are we debating Easter
Anyway.
about? All right, Monster Fighters.
Easter debate. But I really like. I can't even talk about it.
Go ahead.
Next up, holiday rankings. I really like this theme actually. It's a very consistent like style. That and like this, I can imagine these sets all look really good next to each other,
They do.
especially.
I can try to get a
And
picture of them.
oh yeah, because your brother has
Yeah.
all of them.
Besides the castle and the graveyard, yeah, he has all of them.
The Haunted
But-
House. My most wanted were the Ghost Train and the Haunted House, and the Haunted House is one I regret missing.
None of these I would buy at the price that they're at now. But if this was a
No.
theme that was out right now, I could see myself like scooping one or two of these. I just like, I've always liked the idea of like collecting things across sets, and like the fact there's a different monster in like every set.
The
And like
Moonstones. That's the.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, the story
Yeah.
is the vampires trying to get the Moonstones to like
Okay, yeah, I really like that.
I don't.
thing.
I think it's
honestly,
like keeps everything at night or something. I don't freaking know, but it's awesome, and they're cool little stones. And
if I would have known more about this, I probably would have picked this over Mars Mission. Now that you've like brought it more to my attention, yeah, this is a really solid theme that like had a pretty clear vision of what it was doing. It like doesn't like it doesn't overdo it in the way that like a hidden side and a dreams do nowadays. It stays pretty consistent. Yeah, I'd say that's a great pick.
yeah. Last thing I want to say about Monster Fighters, and this is going to be a hot take. I have no love for the haunted house. I have no interest in it. That is
Really?
not even.
It is kind of
that-
vacant inside.
I'm a big interior guy, and yeah, not huge on the haunted house, but I love all the other sets. I don't personally own
I
them,
think
and
the
I probably
castle's cooler.
Oh, the castle's awesome. The figures are fantastic, and also really slept on part on an already slept on theme is the fighters. I love the fighters. They're so crazy and like cool little characters. Like the Elvis, the theme is kind of set into like the 30s, 40s, 50s. And the Elvis character that has the pistols, is just fantastic.
Frank Rock.
He dual wheels
Oh, yeah.
revolvers, dude. That's awesome. Like that's such a
has a
cool.
And he
plane,
just drives
too.
the swamp boat everywhere.
Yeah, the swamp monster is also cool, but I love Monster
I did
Fighters.
have that smallest set growing up.
It's not a theme that I even own, and I won't buy it. But my brother owns it, and I've loved it for that. So, are we done with the Monster Fighters discussion? I assume.
Yeah.
All right. So
Sure.
let's wrap this up. I'm gonna repeat everyone's picks, and we can kind of see our ways out of the episode. So, Levi, with the picks of Bionicle, Fantasy Era Castle, Dino Attack, Agents, and Exoforce. Excellent picks, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Aidan comes in with Ninjago, Adventurers, Atlantis, Classic Pirates, and Mars Mission. And then Brendan, myself, coming in with Power Miners, Lego City, Creator Expert, 90s Ninja, and Monster Fighters. I would say my picks are probably the most wild out of anyone's. Besides Mars Mission.
I'd say Levi's are, because you got Dino
Mine
Attack
are
and
probably-
you got Exoforce.
I guess I love those. Yeah, you know what?
Yours.
Fair enough,
What's
fair
also
enough, fair
funny
enough, fair
is 2 of yours are just city lines.
enough. Well, they're great. They're great.
Which
They're
is
great.
pretty. Which is
So-
I know, like they're not bad. It's just funny.
So those are our picks. Like I said, on the YouTube version, we will have the video with the picks visually on there and pictures. But this was a great time. I love this.
I greatly enjoyed this. Thank you for having me on, y'all.
Me too.
Yeah.
Of course. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Levi. Great person to talk to. But I guess this will wrap it up. Like I said, you can vote who you think did the best, me, Aidan, or Levi, in the comments, on the comments of the Instagram post. Also, I'll probably try to put a poll out, like, on the community tab. But please vote. There's no stakes to it, but I'm just curious who people think had the best all-around list of original LEGO licensed themes. This is definitely something I think me and Aidan would like to return to, is this draft idea, maybe with different concepts, eventually with another guest. But yeah, this was awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed this. So thank you, Levi. And yeah, any parting words from you two?
Nope. Thanks again. Great time. Enjoyed it.
Bye.
All right. Wise words from the guy that picked Mars Mission. L theme.
If I would have thought of Monsters Fighters, I would have picked that.
I think Mars Mission was it was the worst bit. I hate Mars Mission. That theme sucks.
Whatever.
Damn.
I'm going out fighting. I did not realize how much I disliked it till I looked at it. Not a
Really?
Mars Mission guy.
We will see who the people agree with.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna be for real. A lot of the space original sub themes are kind of weak upon revisiting. Like, I idolize Space Police 3. Actually, a pretty weak theme in a lot of areas.
Same.
I'm
Same
shocked
with-
no one
I agree
picked
with
it.
that.
I
I-
don't like it either.
I actually think
don't
Alien Conquest might be the best of those 3.
That's the
But
one
it's
I
also-
was debating. Levi, I'm picking Alien
What?
Conquest. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite non-light. Like, it's such a stupid concept. Or it's not stupid. It's classic.
so
It's just
basic.
alien invasion. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
but then it's just like the military pulls up with like tanks and like rocket buggies, and it's like shoot the aliens. Like, we don't mess with these guys.
Yeah. Whoa. Don't take that out of context. Holy crap. All right.
Oh yeah, sorry. Good thing this is not going on air. I'm not like that, by the way. Not like that.
All
at all.
right. Goodbye, everyone.
Actually, no.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.